Tune into my frequency, lock into my station. How can I stir you up so that you are uncomfortable in some way? How can I make you uncomfortable so that when you go home, you are kind of restless? Restless? I mean in a good way, not in a bad way. Otherwise, nobody is coming in the meeting for the next time. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, tune into my frequency, lock into my channel. I'm going to speak about role models, why they are important and essential for our well-being. I have 3 role models. The first one is Demontenses, the second, Viktor Frankl, and third, Imran Khan. And I can assure you one thing, if you follow the principle of only one person, your perspective of life will change. But if you apply the principle of all 3, boy, your life will transform forever, believe me. My first role model, Demontenses. He was a Greek statesman and orator of ancient Athens. He was called the perfect orator who lacked nothing. But he was not born as a perfect orator. As a boy, he used to have stammering pronunciation. To overcome this, he built a small underground study room so that he can go there and practice his oration. He used to talk with pebbles in his mouth so that he can improve his pronunciation. He used to prepare his speeches and go in the seashore so that he can improve his speaking by the roar of the sea waves. Now, if he can overcome his stammering and become one of the greatest orators of ancient Greece, what is stopping us from doing greater things in our life? The goal is not to become perfect. The goal is not to become better than anybody else. The goal is to constantly reinvent ourselves and become better than we were yesterday. Isn't it? That's the goal. My second role model, Viktor Frankl. Does anybody heard of Viktor Frankl? He has wrote a book, Man's Search for Meaning. It's a very interesting book. So he was a professor in neurology and psychiatry. And in his book, he has written about his experience as an inmate in Auschwitz concentration camp during World War II. His mother, father, brother, sister, wife were all killed in the camps. He was tortured, beaten, worked to the brink of death, not given enough food or clothes or shoes in freezing temperature. He paints a very horrific existence of his day-to-day life in the camp. With all this in his mind, how can he find life preserving? He gave 2 life lessons which is still applicable today. The first life lesson, he who has a why to live for can bear almost anyhow. Everybody's why is different. I want to become a role model for my son. Your why is different. No man and no destiny can be compared to any other man or any other destiny. A strong enough why will get you through any challenge. The second life lesson, between stimulus and response, there is a gap. And in that gap, you have the ability to choose your response. This stimulus is the external factors which you do not have any control. It can be anything like weather. You do not have any control of the weather, traffic. Those who are married, your spouses or partners, you don't have any control. What you can control is the internal factor, your response. So it does not matter what life throws at you. What matters is how you respond. My third role model, Imran Khan. So Imran Khan was a cricketer turned politician, and right now he is the Prime Minister of Pakistan. He said at the age of 8, he was certain that he is going to become a cricketer. It's a matter of fact when. You know, that definiteness of purpose at the age of 8 separates him from anybody else. At the age of 18, he changed his bowling action to suit his ambition. People said, you will lose your natural ability. Don't do that. That desire, that passion again separates him from anybody else. Then he played a couple of matches for Pakistan, and then he was dropped from the team. People said, Imran can't play. But he came back again. He became one of the fastest bowlers in Pakistan. Then he became one of the fastest all-rounder in the world. And at the age of 40, he won the World Cup for Pakistan, which was a very big achievement. Why I admire him so much? Because he has not done it once, but twice. After retiring from cricket, he joined politics. And for 26 long years, he lost one election after another, but he never gave hope. He applied the same three principles: definiteness of purpose, passion, and persistence. And in 2018, he became the Prime Minister of Pakistan. To summarize my three role models, demonstrances, he taught us how to constantly reinvent ourselves. Viktor Frankl, what is your why in doing anything? And between stimulus and response, there is a gap and you have the ability to choose. And Imran Khan, definiteness of purpose, passion, and persistence. As I told you before, if you apply the principle of just one person, your life will change. But if you apply the principle of all three, your life will transform. To conclude, I will end with a quote of William Jordan. Into the hands of every individual lies the marvelous power of good or evil, the silent, unconscious, unseen influence of his life. That is simply the constant radiation of what man really is, not what he pretends to be. Madam Toastmaster.